Hello, hello! Welcome back. It's time to talk about the third speakers on both teams. And I'm also going to talk about these two guys or girls together because I think their roles are very similar to each other. Okay, there's some differences again, but I think they're very similar. So I'm going to talk about the government whip and the opposition whip collectively. Okay, now it's important to realize that you're coming at the end of the debate. So at this part of the debate, there's 4 speakers or 5 speakers, if you are opposition whip, would have already spoken before you, right? So there's going to be many arguments and rebuttals and claims and counterclaims and accusations and examples and analysis and all these different things, right? So your job, in principle, is to sort out this mess, is to balance these things and to tell the judges or your teams why you have done better. More than tell them, show them why you have done better. Okay? So there are essentially 3 parts to your role or to your speech. Firstly, as a good whip, you must briefly summarize and defend your case. Right? Secondly, summarize and prioritize the issues and ideas in the debate. And then thirdly, analyze and rebut these issues. All right? So let's look at them. Firstly, briefly summarize your case and your position, right? Now this helps give the judges or your audience a little bit of clarity. So you get up and the first thing, and this shouldn't take very long. If you're speaking for 7 minutes, this should be about a minute or less. And you say, now this is what we have done. These are our 3 arguments. These are our 4 arguments, right? And this is why, these arguments are still strong and these arguments are still doing well. Okay, so you're giving them a brief overview of what your team has presented in this debate. The second thing you do, and this is one of the most important things, you summarize and prioritize the issues and ideas in the debate. You're identifying what you think are the most important points in the debate, right? So these are things that maybe will be questions in the minds of your audience, things on which the debate might turn or might hinge. So, for example, if on the topic that we would ban smoking in the university campus, one of the issues may be how much harm is there from people smoking on campus. Is the harm very, very real? Because the government team will try to create a lot of harm to a lot of people, and the opposition team will try to reduce this harm and say that it's really not that much harm. Or an issue could be about rights. How do we balance the rights of smokers and the rights of non-smokers? Okay, so as a whip speaker, I want to identify these things. I want to say, or you would want to say, there are 2 issues in this debate, or there are 3 issues in the debate. Firstly, the issue of harm. Secondly, the issue of rights. And thirdly, what is the role of a university, right? Sometimes these can be characterized based on the arguments of the other team, perhaps. So the 3 arguments they presented, those are going to be the important issues in this debate. Okay? Sometimes these are also presented as questions. So, do people have the right to smoke? Or which is more important? Right? And so on and so forth. You get the idea. But basically, what you need to do is identify what the most important issues in the debate are. This should also not take very long. The third thing you should do is you should rebut and analyze those issues. So now I've identified 3 important issues. I've said the first important issue in this debate is what is the harm of secondhand smoke? Secondly, how do we balance the rights of smokers and non-smokers? Right? So now, in the third part of my speech, I should rebut those things and I should analyze. So I said, what is the harm? Then I will give you reasons why the harm is very real or the harm can be reduced. And then secondly, when I talk about the rights, I will show you why our argumentation on rights is better than their argumentation on rights. Okay? To do these things, I can provide new rebuttals to arguments. I can provide new examples. I can also provide new analysis to rebuttals. What I cannot do, what I should not do as a whip speaker, is provide new arguments. A new argument is an idea that has not happened in the debate before and is not a rebuttal. Okay? So if no one on my team so far has talked about, let's say, cost, the economic perspective has never come up in this debate before, then as a whip speaker, I shouldn't bring that idea up. Okay? The rules of Asian Parliamentary technically allow the government whip to do this, but but specifically forbid the opposition whip from doing this. But I think it's good strategy for neither of the whip speakers to bring new arguments. You can bring a new rebuttal. Okay, so if you want to rebut the second speaker's speech or the third speaker's speech by providing economic analysis, you can do that, right? So a lot of it is how you make your points. Okay, good. To recap, the whip speaker speaks at the end, right? So your job is to summarize, to clarify issues, to attack points that are still hanging, to show why your team is doing better. To that effect, you should do 3 things. Start by providing a brief summary of the arguments of your team and of your case and defend them. Then prioritize and analyze the issues in the debate. Identify which you think are the most important issues in this debate. Thirdly, and this will be the bulk of your speech, analyze and rebut those issues. Tell the audience and the judges why your team did better, why the position of your team is much better for those issues, right? And rebut and analyze. Remember, no new arguments, but new examples and new rebuttals are okay. Good luck, Whip.